I don't wish it on him, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? I don't wish it on him, and I love him through it. Whatever he...
Imagine waking in the dead of night to an urgent call that shatters your world. Your child lies fighting for life in an ICU, hooked to machines and slipping in and out of consciousness. Every alarm's shrill cry feels like a hammer to your heart, and rumors swirl of torture, poisoning, and secret break-ins. This was the nightmare that engulfed King Harris, son of hip-hop stars T.I. and Tiny, as the world watched in horror, praying a miracle would save him from forces that seemed determined to finish him off. It began at 3 a.m. on what had been an ordinary Atlanta night. News outlets and social feeds erupted simultaneously. King Harris was suddenly in Grady Memorial Hospital's intensive care unit, his vital signs plummeting. Behind the curtained doors, doctors exchanged grim whispers of multi-organ failure and irreversible damage. Nurses darted back and forth like medics on a battlefield, responding to every alarm with tense urgency. Though the official statements were terse, the unspoken message was clear: this was no routine emergency. Something dark had torn King from prison to hospital, and no one yet knew how far the tragedy would spread. Under the flickering fluorescent lights of the ICU, the atmosphere was electric with dread. Monitors beeped in uneven rhythms, each flatline warning sending ripples of panic down the hallway. Staff paused at King's bedside, studying vital sign graphs as if they held answers to questions no one dared voice. Whispers circulated about missing security footage and unexplained gaps in the medical record. A nurse confessed off the record that his ventilator had inexplicably powered down for precious seconds before alarms screamed back to life. Attempts to review the CCTV failed. Files had vanished as if erased by unseen hands. Outside King's room, Tiny's world collapsed. The moment she stepped into the sterile corridor, her knees buckled, and she crumpled to the floor in uncontrollable sobs. Nurses rushed to support her trembling frame, but nothing could still her screams of desperation. A bystander's smartphone captured the heartbreaking scene. A mother shattered, her cries echoing off the walls as shocked onlookers stood helpless. That single video ignited social media. #PrayForKing trended worldwide within minutes, as millions clicked share and offered prayers, their collective grief forging an instant bond across continents. Meanwhile, rumors began to twist the tragedy into something far more sinister. Leaked medical reports, never verified, claimed King's injuries bore marks of calculated torture, wounds too precise to have been inflicted by fists alone. An anonymous audio leak purportedly captured a guard's voice saying, "The order came from above. We just cleared the way." Conspiracy theories exploded, rival gangs silencing him for testifying, industry enemies wiping the slate clean, even corrupt officials eliminating a threat. Online forums flared with outrage, each new allegation dousing the ICU in an even darker shadow. Fear turned to outrage when a supposed late-night CCTV clip from inside the ICU surfaced online. Two masked figures moved silently past security, one crouching beside King's bed, the other watching at the door. The footage ended abruptly, leaving viewers to imagine the worst. Soon after, an anonymous hacker group claimed to have extracted hospital documents showing foreign toxins in King's bloodstream. Molecules never prescribed by any doctor. Their parting message was chilling: they're not saving King, they're finishing him. Across social platforms, fans cried foul, demanding justice and transparent answers. Inside, T.I. and Tiny were pushed to their limits. Summoned to a private consultation room, they heard words no parent should ever face: unless there was a rapid turnaround, they might have to consider letting go. Tiny collapsed again, her sobs shaking the corridor, while T.I.'s fury erupted. Witnesses described him punching walls, shattering a chair, and screaming at doctors he believed were complicit in a cover-up. Hospital security restrained him gently, but not before cameras immortalized his breakdown, fueling the global spectacle and amplifying the family's agony. By dawn, the unrest had spilled into the streets. Protesters and fans amassed outside the hospital gates, their candles glowing in the pre-dawn chill. Placards reading "Protect King" and "Justice for King Harris" bobbed in the crowd. Riot police formed barricades. Helicopters buzzed overhead, casting harsh spotlights on tear gas canisters parked at the ready. Live streams carried every chant, every tear, every flash of defiance to millions glued to their screens. What should have been a private vigil had become a public uprising against unseen hands that many believed had marked King for death. Celebrities quickly joined the outcry, lending star power and amplifying the crisis. Cardi B went live in tears, begging for prayers, while Snoop Dogg issued a cryptic warning: "Protect your kids, they're after all of us." Each post added fuel to a blazing inferno of speculation. Some claimed jealous rappers had orchestrated the attack. Others alleged government agents silenced potential whistleblowers behind prison walls. An alleged high-ranking prison officials leaked audio warned, "If the boy talks, he can't leave that bed alive." Suddenly, the ICU drama had morphed into a fight for truth at the highest levels. Midday brought whispers of something even more shocking. King had been declared clinically dead for nearly 2 minutes before doctors delivered electric shocks to revive him. Fans recoiled at the thought of a teenager teetering on death's threshold, pulsing back to life only through defibrillator paddles. Online, the narrative darkened. Some insisted he was being kept in a liminal state, neither fully alive nor dead, by unknown forces seeking to punish the Harris family for sins real or imagined. Each fresh rumor deepened the sense that King was trapped in a merciless game. By afternoon, Grady Memorial had transformed into a fortress. Armed guards patrolled the entrance, scanners screened every visitor, and reporters were corralled at a distance. Inside, medical teams worked around the clock, administering emergency drugs and fine-tuning ventilator settings in the hope of stabilizing King's failing organs. Despite the intensified security, the sense of vulnerability persisted. If King could be targeted in prison and then inside the ICU, no place felt safe. Every corridor became a theater of fear and hope battling for dominance. As evening approached, the world waited for an update. Social feeds brimmed with prayers, conspiracy theories, and demands for accountability. Hashtag Prepare for the Worst trended alongside hashtag Pray for King, reflecting the raw uncertainty gripping millions. For T.I. and Tiny, each passing hour was an eternity of anguish. They refused to leave their son's side, even as doctors delivered the same grim assessment: prepare for the worst. Official statements remained sparse, amplifying the murky swirl of speculation that had taken over online and offline worlds alike. In the hush of night, with Atlanta under siege by grief and outrage, King Harris lay at the epicenter of a storm that had grown far beyond a simple family tragedy. It was a collision of pain, power, and spectacle, a stark reminder of how quickly real lives can be consumed by rumor and fear. As the city braced for whatever dawn might bring, the only certainty was this: behind every hashtag and breaking headline, a mother and father prayed fiercely for their son's survival. And for everyone watching, the true test remained not just uncovering the truth, but remembering the compassion that should guide us through the darkest of times.